I cannot believe it's already the second week of October. So, for those that don't know, somehow don't know, October is Inktober. And Inktober is an art prompt drawing contest kind of thing. It's not really a contest, it's a list of prompts to encourage artists to draw using ink mediums. So, pen and ink, uh, brush and ink, whatever. So there's a prompt for each day of October, and I'm doing Inktober, but I'm not doing it every day. I'm doing it when I have time and when I feel inspired by the prompt. It's, in my opinion, I've always treated it as very relaxed. So it's a way to like encourage drawing, encourage especially ink drawing. So Inktober has become very popular, and of course, I am participating. So the first day, I did day 1 and day 2 of week 1. That's what I was able to finish. I started another one during that week, but I didn't finish it. So I'm not going to worry about finishing it. If I finish it by the end of October, then that's great. If not, I'll just post it separately, separate from Inktober. But day 1 was the prompt was poisonous. So of course I draw a little snake, my little cobra. And this one is actually the Egyptian goddess Renanut. She's a cobra goddess. She's associated with fertility of the fields and fertility of people. She's known as Lady of the Cloth, referencing the cloth you wrap a baby in and also the cloth you wrap the dead in. She's a goddess of nourishment. So this design is actually a redraw of a previous design I did years ago. And you saw at the beginning of the video, I made it for like a candle sleeve. I wanted a little candle dedicated to Renanut, so I made a candle sleeve for her. But the drawing I did is old and not as great, so I decided to redo the drawing for Inktober. So here's my little Renanut. Yeah, so I also ended up deciding to color her in, and you'll see coming up in the video. I originally just outlined her, but then as I started coloring it, I thought maybe I should go back with a pen and do like some hatch marks, make it more like more drawing, like more just add more of the ink. I felt like there wasn't enough ink both for the drawing and for Inktober. So I did go back in. I started adding hatch marks. Excuse me. But I thought it came out pretty nice overall. And then I colored it in with Psy, and that I think I show that later in the video. Yeah, it's not really much more to say. This one's pretty straightforward. I used the hash marks to indicate shading, so to indicate the darker areas versus light areas. And then I went in with a flat color and did the red and nude coloring. So Inktober is a lot of fun, especially if you don't take it super seriously. If you don't put pressure on yourself to get things done every single day, then it's a lot of fun. Just be relaxed about it and go with whatever you feel inspired by. October is actually a pretty busy month, and Inktober actually inspired some other October challenges. So there's a lot more out there. One of them is Kinktober, where I think it started as like a fanfic writing kind of challenge for October, but you can do fan art or you could do your original art, original writing. I was thinking of doing Kinktober, at least with some of the prompts, but I felt like I didn't have enough time with my other projects I was working on and other stuff going on in my life. So I felt like I was becoming unorganized these last few months over the summer. Like I had projects started, but I didn't finish them. I'm like, why is this taking me so long? Oh, because my time management is bad. So I started making a weekly planner. I just took a blank notebook I had and drew Monday through Sunday and drew some lines so I could write in it, whatever. I divided it up by each day and I did like, okay, this is what I want to have done by the end of the day. And I wrote down my art and writing projects. I mean, I'm overly ambitious with my weekly schedule, but that's a fault of mine and I knew it. So as long as I get most things done, I'm going to be happy. it also just writing a lot of things down reminds me that I have a lot that I want to do, so I need to like get my butt moving, get working, you know. So I'm hoping to ease into the schedule and work up like a good workflow where I can get a lot done in a week. And of course, you know, you have to remember if you do this, if you're overly ambitious and you take on a lot, because it might not seem like a lot, but you know, planning out a story, working on a painting, it can take hours to get like a sketch down for a painting. It can be a lot. It can add up to a lot of hours. It's also important to remember to take breaks and relax. You know, maybe like one day a week, you just relax, whatever, do nothing. Maybe you take like a week where it's much slower than normally. Whatever you need to do. So I have a very ambitious week. I plan my weeks out with a lot of stuff to do, and I don't get to all of it. Um, but it has helped me. Making this weekly planner has helped me because I have finished 2 paintings that were taking me forever. One, like, I had motivation for it, and then, like, my motivation kind of waned down a lot, so I had fun painting it, but I kinda dragged it out by accident. I didn't think it would take that long, so I was kinda dragging my feet on it, so to speak. Um, let's see what else. Speaking of writing, though, I'm not doing Kingtober, but I am planning out a romance novel for November, which is NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. So I was working on that a lot last night. It was honestly like there's a lot that I need to still research for it, and I had the basic gist of it, but now I have to fill out all the little details, all the little chapters in between, and I'm like, yeah, I need to do a little more research in certain areas. It's a clean romance novel that I'm going to be working on, and I'm going to self-publish it because that's what I decided. I've been self-publishing erotica, and I'm going to self-publish my romance. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, planning out this story, like, there's a lot that goes into planning out a story, especially because I don't want, like, I want to keep it organized. I want to make sure I keep the characters true to themselves, and I don't want, like, plot holes. So I'm trying to avoid all that. I'm trying to really plan it out in detail. Because even if it's a romance, like, you know, you have your characters get together and they have the happy ending and everything's resolved. But even then, you have all this stuff in the middle. You got to get together. You got to make sure you create the right kind of tension. The story I'm working on, I'm not sure if it's like straight up romance. It is going to be somewhat romance, but it's also like I wonder if it can work as just fiction, like straight up regular fiction. I don't know. I was gonna make a video about this, so I can stop ranting now. But another writing project I'm working on is some vampire erotica series. So I started writing erotica in college for the fun of it, you know, just short little stories, just fun little short stories. Now I'm trying to write something longer. So I planned that out. And that was much easier to plan out. And I started writing it and I wrote like 1,600 words in a day. I was like, yes. So I think this planner is helping me to stay focused. In terms of art, I finished 2 paintings. One was a city landscape, which was the one I was dragging my feet on. But I had fun doing it too, because I've always been inspired by the Impressionists. So with this city landscape, it might seem like it looks kind of odd, like the buildings, like are not perfect, but that's also part of the intention. Like I did that intentionally because I wanted to show the compactness of the city and also the busyness of a city. So I'll have to like maybe show that off or make a blog post about it and talk about that more. But I was trying to mimic that with the way the buildings are layered on top of each other and with the brushstrokes on the buildings. Because there's no actual people in the painting, but I still wanted to. It's still a living city. People live there. They work there. They go to church there, and all of that. So I wanted to try and show that just with inanimate objects, just the buildings themselves. So If you're watching the video while I talk, you can see I'm struggling right here at the red and new drawing, because originally I just did straight up line work, and then I went back and did the cross hatch marks. So as you can see, they didn't line up perfectly. So I had to go in and then fix that. I had to go in and add the color again, just clean it up. But I did like shading with the cross marks, the hatching marks. So I've done that style before with drawing. It's just, it's been a while since I did that with just pen and then flat color. I'm trying to get more in the digital artwork and try out different kind of styles. I've been using Photoshop and Sai, and I think Sai is, I don't know if, I guess, I want to say it's better, but they are for different things. Like, you can do what you do in Sai with Photoshop, but you'll see it in my next illustration I did for Inktober for day 2 with I did a bunch of Goldfish, and there's a certain coloring style that I did with that works better in Sai than it does in Photoshop. It's basically I just use the watercolor brush to get like a flowy, watery kind of feel to it. I'm not sure how to explain that exactly. Yeah, so I finished the city painting, and then I finished a painting of an Arabian goddess, Bandan. I think that's how you pronounce it. So that's actually up on my Etsy right now. So I'm glad I got that one done. I used a gray underpainting instead of like a burnt sienna or burnt umber underpainting. One of the things I need to do though, because I've been inspired by the Impressionists, like I said, but I love Renaissance art. I love Renaissance art, but I don't normally paint like that. So I want to try and like control my brush strokes more. I just like letting myself go free, but there's a couple paintings I want to work on, and I want to try and control the brush strokes more and make it more like blend out, smoothed out. So yeah, it's fun trying to balance digital art and traditional art. I have a bunch of projects, and some traditional and some not, some digital. Hi YouTube, how's everyone's Inktober going? So I'm stopping at AC Moore's to look at pens and pick up some glue. I need the glue because I was making like a little rose incense holder burner thing out of polymer clay. When I went to bake it, it didn't break, but like a leaf fell off, and I kind of figured it would because it seemed like it wasn't really like stuck together well. That's kind of one of the issues I have with this because I've never used polymer clay before, but I'm trying to learn how to use it. And like before this, I've used like earth-based clay that has to go in a kiln that you use water with. So it's like, they're both technically clay, but they're really different. So I have to pick up some glue for that. It's just for me, it's like a personal little thing, so I don't care, whatever. And then I'm gonna look at pens because it's Inktober and I'm back in love with my pens. So I don't know, I can't do line work digitally. It doesn't come out looking nice in my opinion. I prefer using pen, or I've used ink before, but I think pen is what I've used in the past. And I like doing pen and ink kind of work. I have some up on my website, some portfolio pieces. So I think I'm back in love with pens again. So I'm gonna go pick up a few. I don't need any, but it would be nice to have a couple more variations of line weight, line thickness. And I mean, you can never have too many pens, right? Alright, I'm back. So, I was talking about how I've been planning things out weekly now and getting more of my projects done, or at least making progress on them. So yeah, I got 2 paintings done. I got some digital work done. I got story planned out, and I'm planning on another one. So those are the main projects I'm working on. Then I have like some other little things I want to do if I have free time. Like you can see in this video that I am I am drawing fish, and I decided this is for Inktober day 2, and the prompt was Tranquil. So it made me think of fish because, you watch fish and you feel relaxed. But as I was just doodling fish, I thought these would make like a nice sticker set because I've been watching like art vlogs and people talk about their Etsy shops and whatever on YouTube. And I thought, yeah, could try making some stickers because, I like stickers. That's the thing on Etsy. Um, why not give it a try? So I just started doodling fish. And as I was doodling, I thought, yeah, I'm going to turn these into stickers and see how that goes. So once I get my art Etsy shop up, these are going to be stickers up on there. So I currently have like a pagan spiritual kind of art shop, and I'm trying to get stuff. I was working on that for a while, so I think I have a good amount of stuff over there. Now I want to focus on my secular and non-spiritual art Etsy shop, and where I'm going to have original art and then maybe like some fan work as well. So that's where these little fish drawings came into play. So I just outlined them in pen, and then I decided I'm going to take this into Sci and color them in that program because Sci has really good watercolor brush. So the issue I had with Sci before is I had trouble translating my line drawing over to like line work in the program itself. I was trying to get it so that I would have the line work as the top layer and then I would color underneath it. But what I had to do in the program is first I went to Photoshop and changed the line work so that it was like black and white. I had to edit the scan or the photo so that so the line work was black and the paper behind it was white. So I had to do that first, and then I took that file and put it into Sci. From there, I used the watercolor brush mainly. Well, I did a base layer of color with the normal brush at 100% capacity, and then I did the watercolor brush to add in the shading and the lights. And then the line art had to be on top, but it was multiply, so that way the coloring I did didn't disturb the black outline, but it went over the white. So that's how I wanted it, and I managed to make that work into Sci. It's not how I normally would do it, like in Photoshop. I wouldn't have the line art be a multiply layer, it would be its own layer. And then I can go over it and color it in different colors or whatever. But I'm happy with how it worked in Sci. And I'm happy with how my fish came out. I really enjoyed coloring that in and then how the fish turned out. They looked like so cute, and I'm so happy to be making stickers out of them and see how this goes. Like I'm in love with my little fish doodles.